Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is Schultzy, and I am back. And you know what? Biggest thing with this game, first and first, very good game, very fun. The first thing I have to say is this. Be silent, be stealthy, taking out targets quietly from the bush, quickly and quietly, is your best bet. Now, on to the meat and potatoes of my little thing. Honestly, school sucks sometimes, and you know what? I was dealing with teachers, and there's a few lines that I got that just riled my feathers. And you know what? She said, gamers and nerds are the most misogynistic community and group of people. And I, as a whole, sat there and was shocked, thinking, what the frack? And I honestly thought for a second, maybe we are. Maybe I'm just one of the few that isn't. And I sat there, I waited, I thought on it, and you know what I thought? I'm like, no, I really don't think so. And then I let this sit for a little bit, and then I just started doing my research and looking around, be it on YouTube comments, actually contacting Xbox Live, PSN for their records, since I'm a college student, using my college education and that to prove some certain facts and statistics. I won't get you on further along. I wanted to talk about harassment online, truthfully for my YouTube channel and not for my paper, and I use my teacher so I can get this information. But further on, truth be told, people are generalizing this, that we're misogynistic by maybe a super small percentage. And you know what? People are citing number one reason, girlfriend mode in Borderlands, Anita Sarkeesian, the cross assault debacle for that guy. And you know what? That is such a small part of our community that maybe one person may have overstepped their bounds, or people had one or two bad experiences, and generalizing this whole gamer culture as monstrous individuals. And you know what? I'm sorry. Not true. And you know what? We are the most egalitarian community out there. We do not care about anything other than, can you play the game? We are so based on meritocracy. It is scary. We will not let anyone who cannot hold themselves slide. And the truest thing is, honestly, I looked at these things, and as a whole, the behavior, be you a male or female, we do not condone asinine behavior. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. We do not condone that behavior at all. Nothing, no matter what someone says, we don't condone that behavior. And you know what? We take care of our own. If you notice the cross assault guy, did he act out of hand? Maybe once or twice, maybe a little bit during it. But you know what happened when we felt he acted out of possible thing? We asked him not to be funded. There's a guy in Dota who is swearing up a blue streak, being an asshole to people, not trash talking, being an actual asshole. He's banned. Not because he was harassing people, because he had conduct unbecoming. And that is what I'm saying. Our community takes care of our own and deals with our own problems. And honestly, as a whole, looking at these people are saying that these male gamers are monstrous, horrible people who are just Neanderthalic knuckle draggers. We're nowhere close to that. And you know what? And talking about these communities that as a whole, we're sexist, we don't care, we'll belittle you. No, what it was is we have a tendency to have somewhat coarse language in there, some rough and tumble language, because when people's pumps getting up, when things get up and going, we become brutal, we become not uncivilized, but we become more brash, more blunt in our language. We lose our eloquency, and we care about results and getting things done in games, be they Call of Duty, be they StarCraft, or anywhere in between. And you know what? We as nerds nerds and gamers, our communities were focused around introducing more people to it, embracing what we love, and getting away from assholes. Our community is nothing about what these people say and believe in on it. These misogynistic imbeciles. We do not care about your gender, whether you're male or female, your sex, your beliefs, your orientations. We will trash talk, and in very small instances does it get out of hand. Very small. We don't care. We believe, all we care is, can you hold your own in a fight? And can you support your team? all of our communities are always based around this. And what people are calling hostile communities or toxic environments for individuals, be they male or females, was summed best up in another YouTuber who does, I think he's Miles at whatever 6'2" something or whatever it is. He says it was all about, can you bring it? Can you do it? Can you prove your mettle? Can you prove that you can hold your own? That is not a toxic community. That's a hard earning your bars, bringing it by your bootstraps community. That community is very tough. And if you notice, what is his channel about? What are many YouTube channels about? Introducing people to the community, giving them an advantage, helping them understand the game so they can hold their own and help better our community with a larger, more diverse, and better skilled community. That is what gamers and nerds have always been about. Sharing their love, informing other people, and just making our community and culture better by more people, by everyone knowing much more about their subject matter, and just informing people, telling people, and sharing our love of it. Be you loving comic books, be you loving video games. I can sit and talk circles around you on some games, and other games, I will sit and listen. Even if I don't like some of these games, I will be willing to listen because I like to learn. Our community has always been are open-minded and open-eared. Just because a small few don't, that's not us. That is insulting to blame all gamers, male and female, about this, especially male, because that's always what it's pointed at. It's always pointed at the bad male gamer, the stereotypical troglodyte in his basement, and I emphasize his basement, because our community is more inclusive. And honestly, on this alleged harassment, talking the Xbox Live, and if you look at previous reports, you know what they said their thing is? 1%, about 1%. And the reason why it's so bad is if you look at how many units sold of all gaming consoles and PCs, and if you add them all together, it's over 100 million people. So 1%, if you look at it, there's a million horrible gamers out there. That sounds like, oh my god, there's a problem. 1% of gamers are dickheads. That sounds reasonable. And just because our community is so big, this 1% seems astronomical. I can guarantee you go outside, you go to work, you sit in a room you go to school, I can guarantee you there's more than 1% of assholes in your classroom. I can guarantee you that. There's more percentage of assholes you're going to deal with in the world than you're going to be dealing with the online community. Every person, every woman I've interviewed, talked about video games. You know how many times they've been harassed? Once or twice. In their whole gaming community to date. Some of these people have more time under their belt than me. Some of them had 30 years, 20 some odd years, 25 years, 30 years, or whatever, close to that. You know how many times this woman said she was ever harassed online? 5 times. Or how many times she's ever been harassed in her total playing games and being a gamer and being a nerd? 5 times. Out of 20 some odd years, 30 years in some areas because she was doing comic books. That is very great. And she says, our community is the best ever. And she says, for all these people complaining, it's bullshit. Because you're looking at one person or you're blowing out one small problem out of proportion. And she herself laughed when she heard this. And you know what? Hearing that it's only 1%, and they said they're rounding up because they're trying to take into account of people not reporting. So they're rounding it up to 1%. Honestly, if this community was that hostile, I would have left it. Killjoy would have left it. Hell, some of my relatives, my friends, hell, some of the girls that I know would have left this community if it was actually as hostile as these people claimed it to be. It really is not. And honestly, we're just taking one person's perspective and running with it. We're listening to a bunch of glorified bloggers and gaming journalism saying that we're misogynistic and running with these problems with the number one reason, or blowing up the fact that we said girlfriend mode instead of easy mode, or gentle mode or beginner mode. It's a slang joking term. We have our own term, our own language. It is not meant as an insult. And for the longest time, girls never played it, and yes, there are many girls. Hell, Killjoy can kick my ass in fighting games. Don't ask me how, but she can do it. Does that bother me? No. Do I put easy boy mode on when I try to fight her? Hell yes, because I want to have a good fight and a good challenge. Do I care? No. Do I try to get better? Hell yes. And as I said, as I will say, if you look at the gaming communities, YouTube communities, look at every single one. Miles for the fighting games. He's trying to introduce a community, embrace our community, and enlarge our community by having a very diverse community with men, women of all backgrounds playing these games. And he wants to make the community better, because I believe he said in one of his videos he wants to increase the community so these communities will last longer, be more enjoyable, and so we all have a good time. And he wants, and this is my thing with even when I do my tips and tricks, I want people to get better, be better, because I want a challenge. I want to have a community where I can have a good time, put my money where my mouth is, and struggle valiantly playing against another player online and having a great time with them. Because honestly, when we better our community, be it with difficulty, try to make people increase their skill level, because we're not jackasses. No matter what these people say, if you claim we're not misogynistic, we're assholes, we're belittling bastards, no, we're not. Just because occasionally we'll get rough and tumble in our language does not make it so. And I'm sorry to say, if you hear someone saying we're sexist, we're misogynistic, just because our language sometimes gets coarse, sometimes gets rough and tumble, does not make us sexist. It just means that we pretty much didn't have the proper language that you did not like. And gaming is a very competitive area. It is very based on meritocracy. And you know what? That is what makes the gaming culture so great, and nerd culture, is that we don't care who you are or what your background is. Can you hold your own? Can you do what you say? That's what matters. And that's why I love being a gamer and a nerd. That's why Killjoy loves being a gamer and a nerd. She's falling in love with so many things. She's getting into so many things. Not because the community is hostile, because it's so rich and diverse and great. And you know what? Honestly, I hope you've enjoyed this. Please tell me what you think. If you think my teacher is right, say so. If you think my teacher was a freaking inbred moron, go ahead, say it. If you love this or if you hate this, please tell me what you think. Honestly, please even say, if you love this, say we love Killjoy. If you hated this, say we want a mystic ninja. And if there's anything you agree with, or if you want to pass this on, please do. Please tell me what you think. And I love to say, everyone, thank you for listening. I hope this is informed. I hope you've enjoyed this, and thank you, and good night.